Good morning. This is Judy at Artistic Artifacts and our Facebook Live this morning. Um, First, I do have a couple of announcements, but I'm just, you know, we go through a lot of natural disasters in this country and around the globe, and you just are always asking why, and you just can't argue with Mother Nature. I would love to, but she's not taking it. And our hearts go out to those who have affected recently. We have lots and lots of creatives from Florida to Georgia to North Carolina to Southern Virginia and all along these river routes that have just been demolished. And we're standing by watching. We're trying to help as we can for those ways. And I know that there's lots of opportunities to help. And many people don't have the ability to help either because they're struggling as well. And my only thought I would like to give you is that every little bit adds up. Not each one of us is responsible for feeding Georgia, southern Georgia, where the hurricane hit, but a little bit, $5 even could help. And you know that as a community and as a just humanity in itself, that every little bit that somebody can do is really helpful to the big picture. And I'm glued to my reels with watching people and what they're doing. Chris, who you know, has had family live down there in North Carolina, and I've done lectures and visited friends and things. So, you know, we're really we're with you. Our hearts are with you. If you even have power to watch us today, but if you don't, know that the world is watching and trying to figure out how to help. So we're just devastated by what you're experiencing. So I know globally that floods and hurricanes and tsunamis happen. I'm very lucky. I've not experienced one. So my heart goes out to you guys, and just we're here. we're going to just help as a community get you food, water, electricity, internet, whatever those guys are doing. There's a lot of heroes down there, and those of us are watching and waiting for our opportunity to help as well, and sending money to those who are doing the hard work down there. So thank you very much, and know that you're not alone. I do want to talk a little bit about travel. And that is something that is a privilege for me that I really enjoy, but it also helps bring me into other communities in different countries to experience their life and to interact as a community at that level. So that's kind of how I want travel to be for me. If I was in a perfect world, maybe I could go live in Indonesia for a month, or into Thailand, or to someplace else. That really is an immersion. I don't want to travel on the surface, even though I know I'm an American traveling. So we are a little bit on the surface, but we get to meet people in those communities. And we try to focus on textiles as well as fabulous monuments or churches or buildings or mosques and those types of things that are significant in that area and in a time period that built that community. So that is how we set our trips up. I do have two organizations that I work with. One is Italian Cultural Tours, who is organized by Louis Galtieri, and have been worked with him for many years, known him personally, so I trust him implicitly. And we have a studio that is in a small medieval village called Ischia di Castro. Did I say that right, Kyle? Ischia. Ischia di Castro. I can mutilate any language anywhere and anytime. So that it is a medieval village. It is at the top of a mountain. We stay in apartments that are August vacation homes for many people. So, there's various states of antiquities, including sometimes the mattress. And sometimes the other things have been that it's been redone. And the idea was to bring commerce to this village, and be able to interact with everybody. I have my ladies who sit in the corner who I say buongiorno to every morning and buonasera at the end of the day. And that's about the extent of my Italian. But, you know, they're wonderful. They look for me, they smile, and they sometimes come in and see what we're working on. So this trip in Italy is the one trip where we get to work on a project. So we are, I'm going to show you a little bit because it is very different than my India and Indonesia tours. So we actually have a fabric mixed media book that was designed by Liz Kettle and myself. And we do actually get pages done and artwork. We spend 50% of the time, if not probably more than 60% of the time, working on art. Studio fully stocked, everything's there. You know, you need to bring your favorite pair of scissors, a needle, and that's it. Most everything we have. So one of the first things we do is we play with gel plates, monoplates, and we work for that for the part of our day. And it gives us fodder to work with creating the rest of our book. This is a woven piece that is the cover. And the book is based on canvas. So we work these pages, and then when we put them in the book, we have a signature and we're going to mount them. But, you know, you have to come to Italy to get all those directions. So these are just showing some of the ones that I have worked on. We go to a place called Villa Lante. It has wonderful sculptures. This was a page that kind of gave us a window in there. This is all Villa Lante, but you can see the backgrounds are all fabric. So we've stitched them, we've rusted them, we've done all kinds of things with them. We had some fun with monoprinting and picking up the leftover paint and things. And then we got into the tale of the mermaids with two tails, which we were told by one of the women that traveled with us that had to do with balance. And since I've searched for balance in my life, my entire life, I have two mermaids with double tails. So that is one that was in a fountain in Villa Lante, and this was another one that we found that is kind of a medieval tale, but that was what she had found, and I thought, oh man, that's awesome, that's perfect. Then we did some mosaic. Mosaics are wonderful, they're everywhere. There's a church that if you go for an extra day and stay in Rome, that's San Clemente, and it has some really great mosaics in there, and you'll find them everywhere in Italy. So this is Sacred Forest, and it is an amazing carving of stones that are multi-stories tall, and she just kind of made me think of Botticelli's. So I have that in there too. This is actually a statue that's there out of stone, and then more statues. So you can see that it's some paper and some. And then this was kind of, I was experimenting with edges there. This is photo transfer. This is more monoplate printing. We do most everything stitching by hand. We do have one sewing machine that's there, but that's shared by about 15 people. Orvieto we go to, it's quite significant, and it's a wonderful, wonderful town, or city as they call it. We go to the old part of the city, and this is the church. It's very beautiful. But what I think is really interesting, at the time that this church was built, there was this black and white striping here was in Moor influence. So the Moors were building, and that's a lot of what we see in India was built there. So that was an influence. And then this is the tarot garden. So this is, Lewis would be saying, say the right name, but here it is. I have made pockets because I have maps and things in here. This is amazing, full life, full scale mosaics that that it was all done on this property. It's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. This part here looks really small on this piece of paper, but it's where she lived, where Nikki lived. So it was quite wonderful. And then...
And who's Nikki?
Oh, Nikki is an artist. And what's her last name? Chris, help me out here.
I don't know. I'll put the links in.
Okay, Chris will put the links in. So we don't really brutalize the Italian. But there's that. It's wonderful. It's an amazing experience.
Juana says hello, and Irene's on too.
Irene, hi. Juana is our local fiber artist who lives in the village part of the time and always participates and help us out. And then this is a piece that's here that's probably going to go on the back. And as you can see, my book is a little bigger than maybe somebody else's book because I just keep going back. And we do have many repeat people. We have people that come and have been with us multiple times. We already have people signed up for next year. So I'll give you next year's dates. They are September 6th through the 14th. So what happens is you arrive in Italy, usually on an overnight flight, and come in, get picked up in Rome, and it's an hour and a half to get to Ischia. I did better. Ischia. And we kind of do meet and greet and get you settled and that type of stuff. And then the airport run starts on Sunday morning. So we have all that time to work in the studio and visit fabulous different places. So it's lots of fun. March is kind of our do or die time where we need to have commitments and deposits by 10 people at least. We go up to 15. We don't go more than that because it gets a little squishy in my studio. But that is kind of the do or die date for that. If you have any questions, Chris is going to send you an email address for Lewis, or you're welcome to email me at judy@artisticartifacts.com. I'm always available to answer questions. It's a personal experience for me, and I encourage you, if you have the opportunity and the ability to come to us. It is a lot of walking. Everything is at the top of the hill. Always lots of stairs. So just be aware of that. It might not be the right trip for you if those things are difficult for you, but it could be if you can handle those things, because it's a lot of stairs. Everything is at the top. All right. Is there any questions about Italy?
Nope.
No? Okay. So, all right. So the other trips that I've started doing, and unfortunately, the trips to India started right before COVID. So we lost a little bit of abilities there or momentum. So India trips, I travel with a woman-owned business that is in the travel business and focusing on textiles and cultural experiences. So we do it's a pretty fast pace, but we don't have the ability to do this type of journal. We don't, some people bring a journal or some stitching. I'm pretty exhausted by the time I get through the end of the day. So when I came home for my first trip to India, I worked on a journal. So I'll show you that in a minute. So I leave November for a trip to northern India, including Dharamsala. So we'll be there and the northern area. So we'll fly into Delhi and go north. I tend to say, if I haven't been there, I could go there. Let's experience it. Let's see what it's like. So then there's another trip to, what do we say? Carol. Okay. And that is here. That one is February of next year, 2025. So this still definitely has seats available, rooms available. This is an absolute fabulous area in India. It's way south. It's south of Mumbai. It's kind of known as a river district with Rick Steves and travel elite magazines and that type of stuff. But we're going to be doing fun stuff. We're going to be natural dyeing. We're shibori workshop, full day batik workshop. We stay in the most amazing hotels that have amazing food that trust me, I've never starved when I've gone there. So in that sense, it's kind of nice to be at that level that we can afford those 5-star hotels. I get questions about food when we're traveling with it to India. Normally, the places that we stay, most everything is a buffet. They have British food, they have American food, they have Chinese food, and they have Indian food, and it's all really clearly marked. And trust me, if you just take a taste of everything, your plates will be pretty big. I do always tell people that you always drink bottled water. This is the case for many Asian countries. They don't have the infrastructure that we have for water in the US. And so our bodies just are not used to it. So you always drink bottled water, and you always eat cooked food. So you don't have salads when you're over there. So you have to kind of adjust to that. Those are the things that help keep your body safe. The people are friendly. Many people speak English because it was a British colony for whatever positive or negative reasons there it is. And I've always felt safe. So, and I had lots of illusions, I think, about India. You know, things where maybe I had misinformation or I hadn't experienced it. Yes, they do not have the modern conveniences that we have. We do sell Indian fabric here by the yardage, and my first thing I say is, please wash it, because they don't have dryers. They have the sun, and they lay it out in the dirt. That's where they have it, and it dries. So you definitely want to wash it. So there's just a couple of things, but the people are beautiful. They're very friendly, and we visit when we go to India handicrafts. We go and we watch and we experience. They let us try things. The last time we went to Ba, this is an ancient Persian technique that of block printing, and they use blocks and they use dye and they use wax, and this is like world-class textiles. This was on the trip that I went to the middle of India. We traveled. I mean, this is world-class products, and we have the ability to buy directly from the craftsmen, and we get to try and use their tools and work with their materials, and they share their experiences with us. So that is India, and it just is fabulous. What?
Show your journal.
Okay. So my journal, so I put a couple of these are vintage saris that have been applied to a paper journal. And I say paper, but these are cotton papers. So they have been used from scraps of cotton fabric. So here's a picture that I found actually on Google, probably, about the different textiles that are found in different areas of India. So my goal is to go to all of these places. And it would be wonderful if you could come with me. So this is, and the papers really are nice. They are fabric papers. This was a boo-boo. And then I left some pages because I wanted to be able to add things from different trips. So this is Delhi. Delhi is very, very busy. It was under a lot of construction when we were there. And so this is just shot pictures of people in the stores or on the street selling food. It just was an experience. Yes, cows are sacred, and you do find cows everywhere, and people take care of their cows, and the cows know where they get fed, and they all go home after they've been out and about all day. This is the Pink Palace. This is Jaipur. You can see I kind of put things in pages. This is a very famous pottery. It's a blue pottery. So we went there. Let's see. These are just some pages that I did. These are frescoes that you find in these palaces. So the palaces, I always figured the palaces were built by the British. The forts seemed to be built by the British. The palaces were built by the Mongols. So it was very different. We got to go watch indigo fabric being dyed. This is a 10-foot vat that goes down. They put the fabric in, swish it around, wait a few minutes, and then they take it out and lay it in the dirt to dry. See? I promise you, that's the truth. And they sit there and do all that yardage. And this was just in the back of the indigo vat over here, and this was the back part of it. Just some other pieces that I did. They are on motor scooters. Bicycles are still around too, where you've got places within a village and people are moving fabrics from one place to another, and they're just all bundled. So I just thought that was interesting. Flowers, we were there in March, so we were able to see. It was very comfortable. It was not hot, and flowers were blooming everywhere, so that was a big part of it. This is the group that went. So we stayed, we were visiting our friends. This is my friend Puneet and Shamal. They live in Delhi. And Puneet I've been working with for probably 15 years, bringing Indian products, including our wood blocks. So we saw him. These are places that you see in the travel magazines, and we got to go see them. It was just very amazing. This is a fort built on the top of a hill. Every place to defend is that. And some flowers. And I put Indian fabrics in here, so I just applied them with some soft gel. This is a palace ceiling. I just thought the curves were pretty amazing. Just adding some pages. So this is looking down from the fort. This is more pictures of the fort. They're really very beautiful. The forts are, the Mongols did absolutely beautiful architecture. Let's see. Here is a palace that has become surrounded by water, and you have to have boats to get out to that. And we went to an elephant preserve. So we were there. The gentleman who is on the top of the elephant actually lives with the elephant, and the elephant becomes his family. He sleeps, eats, drinks with the elephant, is with the elephant at all times. And this was the preserve. They had multiple ones. And of course, one of our Indonesian batiks. And I think that's all I got so far. So I jumped around, and the idea was, as I go back to India, to maybe fill in some pages. So that's that one. I would love to have you travel with me. It's a great opportunity for me. I really enjoy it. And we get to meet some just amazing people around the world. We did do a trip to Indonesia in May. I'm not sure when we're going back to there. Kyle says he's leading the tour next time. And so maybe you want to come with us. But anybody interested in traveling, just email Judy at artisticartifacts.com. I will get you to the right person. And I am, as I said, always available to answer questions on the phone.
What are the dates again?
The dates for India are February 14th to March 1st. And Italy is September 6th through the 14th, obviously 2025. And that's about as far as I've got my travel schedule going. I know Ischia, who is the one that puts through the textile tours through Asia, has tours through 2026 at the moment. So, but I've just gotten to next year. Any questions? No? All right. We still have some space in Finnabar's workshops. The cutoff date is the 10th of October. We have to give her a head count because Finnabar does all the kits. You walk in the door and it's great. She has a little bit of a supply list, but not a huge one. And that would be the one we have. We have a demo for Long Arm Pro ruler next Saturday. And the following weekend is Creative Quest, which is discounts in the store and demos. So that's a Friday, Saturday event as well. So very busy October. Hopefully you have some time to join us if you're close enough to the store. All right. Anything else? Everybody good? All right. Well, I hope you have a creative day and thank you for joining us.